I just picked up iOS 11, the beta version, and I'm going to show you a few of my favorite features that I've gotten to try so far. This thing is obviously loaded with tons of new features, UI updates, all sorts of great little treats. And so I'm going to start off by showing you one of my new favorite ones. This is the screen recording, so it's in the new it's in the new control panel, which I'll show you in a sec. But this is it. So I'm going to push start recording, and just like that, my screen is being recorded. So now, the rest of this video, I'm going to be able to show it to you through the screen recording, and you're going to get a much nicer view of my screen than you would from me recording it with another camera. So iOS 11 is available for public beta. Anyone can download it at this point. You basically will search iOS 11 beta in Google. You'll go to the Apple page and download it directly from Apple. Pretty straightforward and simple to do. Although note that because this is a beta, there's going to be all sorts of glitches and places where the phone is slow, and so you don't really want to install this on your primary device. Okay, so my favorite feature, maybe tied with the screen recordings, is the new Control Center. So sliding up from the bottom, you can see that, and basically you've got this nice new flat modular control center with all these controls. So for example, I can turn off Wi-Fi just like that, turn back on Wi-Fi just like that, but I could also 3D touch on that module and get more options. And so here are some of the basic options you might want to control. From there, I can similarly play my music, so my music's playing, but I can also force touch on the music and get more fine-grained controls in there. Volume, I can skip ahead in the song, and really nice, much nicer than it was before where I had to slide over. Similarly, I can control the screen brightness, and I can force touch on there to get a more fine-grained control. So we'll turn that all the way up. I can also control the volume of my phone right from here. Pretty nice, and similarly get that fine-grained control just by 3D touching. And that's kind of the pattern all around. I can 3D touch here and choose exactly which Apple TV or other speakers or other mirroring device I would want to mirror to. In the flashlight, I can turn that on, so there it goes on, turn that off, but I can also force touch and get different levels of control of how bright or dark that is. So that's pretty nice. But probably my favorite ones out of these are the home, so I can force touch on the HomeKit and I can control my lights just like that really quickly. So there goes on the couch lamp. I can also force touch right on that and control the brightness of that lamp with more fine-grained control. So let's turn that off for now. And the new Apple TV button, which if I click on that, jumps right into my Apple TV remote, and I'm controlling my Apple TV. That's the trackpad, menu button, and there's Siri. And so I can control my Apple TV just like that. So overall, this control panel is really great, provides a really nice way to get quick access to your controls, all your controls on one screen, and Apple has even taken it one step further. And if you go into the Settings app, down to Control Center, you can customize those controls, and you can basically put a whole bunch of other things in here. So I'll add notes, stopwatch, and let's say, I'm often wanting to go into low power mode, I'll put a toggle for that and swipe up, they're now here. So I can jump right into notes, I can use the stopwatch, or I can turn on low power mode in a click, turn it off. Pretty useful. So that's the new Control Center, which is really great. And I really like what they did with it. So we'll just start recording from the screen here again. And another really great aspect is, let's say I wanted to take a screenshot. So I'm just going to push the home button. That involves pushing the home button and the lock button at the same time. Press, And there's my screenshot. It appears here in the bottom left corner. And if I click on that, it is ready to be cropped, ready to be marked up. So I'm going to draw with some red highlighter, and I'm going to say, yeah, because I really like this new notification center. And we'll draw a little smiley face. And yeah, I can share that instantly from the bottom left corner. And that's a great feature because usually what I do find I do with screenshots is I'm recording them, I'm taking them specifically so I could send it to someone else, often to mark it up. And this is just a really great way to save me a few steps in doing that. And so that will now show up in my photos. So if I actually go to photos, I'll see this new screenshot. It's appeared here, and I can, save that, do whatever I want with it, just like any other photo. But one of my favorite photos updates that they've done here is, here's, photo from bath time with Tech Baby, and this is a live photo. And as you see, I didn't do the greatest job. I'm blocking her face with the blue bin, and that kind of sucks. People might think that this is, if they're looking at the photos, this is a nothing photo worth skipping over, when in reality it's this really cool live photo. So what I can do now is actually go to the edit, and along the bottom here, you actually gain the ability to edit the live photos. So I've gone into edit the photo, and there's this white box there at the bottom, and I can actually choose which photo is going to be my live still frame. So I'm going to choose this one. I think that's a great one. I'll make that the key photo, and done. And just like that, I've edited the live photo. Now it's centered around this much better point in the shot, and makes it a much better photo overall. But you can also do more. So if I slide up with this live photo, it's now in a live mode effect, so it's a live photo. But there are other effects, so I can make it a loop, so that would be that it just keeps playing over and over and over, like a GIF or a GIF. I'm okay with however you want to pronounce it. Here is a bounce effect. That's kind of like Apple's version of Boomerang. It plays forward, then backward, and keeps doing that. It's got a little bit of a bounce to it with the acceleration. And there's a long exposure mode, which basically combines all the still frames into a single frame, into a single image, so that, if you took a picture of fireworks or running water, you'd get this really cool long exposure effect. So those are the updates with live photos, and I think they're all really great. Thought live photos were okay, pretty cool before, but this makes them a lot better. The next feature that they've added, I'll just touch on quickly, and this is one that you get in the Notes app. So I'm going to open a new note, and I'm going to start typing away. And basically what they've added is the ability to do drag and drop. So say I've got some text up here, and I highlight that, so I can hold, and it becomes drag droppable. So I just dropped it over there. I can take this whole paragraph or whatever it is, and just hold on that and move it around pretty easily. So this is a pretty cool feature. I think it's definitely welcome, but it's definitely a feature that really shines on the iPad, where you can have multiple tasks going on at the same time, and just overall, you get this ability to drag and drop on that bigger screen. Would really make a difference in terms of multitasking, managing documents, and all that kind of thing. So I think that's a really welcome update, especially for iPad users. And other than that, there's just a ton of updates all around the board, everywhere you look. If you go into the App Store, for example, so we've got this new layout where there's a today view for your curated, kind of these curated apps lists, and game of the day, all sorts of cool stuff. And it's this nice look. There's a separate tab for games and apps, and it looks cleaner and nicer, and hopefully it'll make the app downloading and finding experience even better. And yeah, updates all around the board. So here's the new Siri. What's the weather tomorrow? And it brought up the weather, but I can also tap to edit, and I can actually type out to Siri and get answers that way. which is also pretty welcome because you don't always want to talk to your phone, and sometimes Siri's the fastest way to get information. So a little update there, and basically stuff like that all around the board. Really great. Everything looks really clean and nice, and the notifications are even cleaner. So here's the old look, and you can also view the notifications from earlier on in the day, and just overall so far, much cleaner, and everything's just been updated in a positive way.